Market conditions remaining bearish in this overall bull market. Seeing a notch down here on S&P 500. It was 10 yesterday on the bullish side, moved down to 9 and 5. So still majority bullish on the daily time frame for S&P 500. Majority bearish at 14 on the 1 hour time frame for S&P 500. Here you can see how it ran up into that resistance area and has pulled back, is now inside of this support block and looking to see if it'll hold up at these levels. It's now broken through, at least on this most recent trend. Let's go down to this just a little bit so we can grab that bottom level. We're hovering right at that 236 location on S&P 500. Futures currently sitting up just slightly. You can see a little bit of a bounce right here as well in the shorter term for the futures. We'll see if that translates over into the current session. We've got the breadth on the market here still quite weak. It dropped significantly again yesterday, right down to that 19. Again, that's 19% of S&P 500 stocks are above their 50-day moving average, which means that 81% are not, are lower. So that's negative breadth. That's bearish breadth to the downside. You can see that. It's also been pretty aggressive selling here for the last really 3 weeks, and that could be an area where we do find a little bit of a selling reprieve, some support, a bounce right here. We will definitely know that here over the next few hours and days going into the holiday week right here. VIX also showing a little bit of a bounce here yesterday, pulling back. Going to get some volatility here apparently on VIX as well. Bonds, we saw a little bit of a move up to the upside yesterday here on SHY. That's the short end of the yield curve. And TLT also finding a little bit of a support bounce right here. Again, at these extreme levels, we get these really wide extreme ranges. They're going to counter trend. They're going to correct. They're going to move back up again. But now we have a pretty defined direction of the current trend, at least. That can always shift as it's working its way back, but TLT, we'll see if we get any kind of strength there, and that's also translating over here into the 10-year treasury, which has pulled back a little bit here over the last, on this hour chart. You can see it's gone majority bearish for the 10-year treasury. That's what we want to see, is those bond yields coming back down a little bit. Dow Jones Industrials still sitting at majority bearish on the daily and the 60-minute, getting a little bit of a bounce right here on that 424 level. This is on DIA, which is the Dow Jones Industrial Average ETF, also referred to as the diamonds, sometimes the triple Qs here. The NASDAQ 100 getting a little bit of weakness here as well. You've got majority bearish on the 1 hour time frame of the trend condition, also seeing some weakness here in the daily time frame as well. So some of these real big strong trends that have advanced, getting a little bit of a pause here, and that's not abnormal, but what we want to see is where they start to find some support. If they start to find some support at these current levels at 236 locations, or if they start to see more acceleration to the downside. We're seeing that also on the Russell 2000, a majority bearish on Russell 2000. So we are seeing some selling there in those smaller cap names, which could also be an indication of a risk transition where we're moving from really risk on. Russell's had a pretty nice run and then retracing back down again. Some profit taking there. We also talked about USO oil advancing its overall uptrend, majority bullish 14, and working its way out of this funk that it's been in right here this last couple of months. And you've got the 1 hour time frame also expanding as well. You can see how it had contracted, and you had this consolidation compression area of trend, and it's expanding. Keep an eye on USO and oil stocks as well. They may be opportunities here in the next few weeks and months. GLD, also gold, majority bearish here on the 60-minute, really trend neutral overall on the daily time frame, and SLV also majority bearish. Silver got having some weakness right here in this current trend. Let's jump over and look at some stocks to consider. A couple of interesting ones. Fannie Mae, a big move here, big volume, $3 stock, 30% move. That's could be an indication of more upside to come. Certainly one to be aware of. That's a nice pattern, good solid confirmation back into momentum, increasing volume. And one other just below that is GPOR, which is also nice confirmation buy back into momentum. You can see above the 236 location. This is in the oil and gas space, and we're seeing some interest there as well, as oil is starting to find a little bit of a footing and market maybe a little bit toppy. You're seeing some rotation into some of these energy stocks. That's going to do it for the last update of 2024. Look forward to 2025. It's going to be a great year, and there's always opportunity for us to consider. Just takes a little bit of work to go through and sort some of those and find some of those opportunities. If you'd like to join us in our Discord channel, we've got free access. You can get access to that in the link in the footer of any of these videos, and we look forward to having you learn and follow along on the methodology. Thanks a lot, and Happy New Year.